Hey guys, Connor here with Chrome Designs, and thank you for watching this video. It's been a while for many of you who have been following me, or well, more likely used to be following me. But anyway, we've got a tutorial for you guys, and some of you may know that I made a video releasing some social media icons, and these included icons similar to these, as you can see here. We had Twitter, Facebook, and I believe the other one was Machinima. Now, obviously, there are loads and loads of social different websites out there, and obviously I only covered 3, and I looked in the comments and some people wanted different ones like Justin TV and YouTube and whatever. So instead of actually me releasing them, I thought I'd make a tutorial on them so you can do whatever you want, and you know, you can use them on a website, you can put different buttons, you can put words on them, you can do whatever you want with them, and I'm going to be showing you different styles. It's not going to be very linear. For example, I'm not going to show you how to make something like this. You know, that you can do whatever you want with it and create a different kind of look like this. Obviously, they've both got similar features about them, but without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to go and make a new document. 800 by 800 is fine, and I'll just call this twit logo tut. That'll do. And to go to the layer, we'll make a new layer, and this is going to be our base circle. Now, obviously, to make the gold 3D look, we're going to be going into the whole blending modes of it, and obviously we use the color white, which is not ideal, but we're going to go and double click on this, and we'll just quickly go to gradient overlay, and obviously want to get the nice kind of radial effect, so we'll go radial. I'll reverse it as well so you can kind of get to grips quicker, and obviously the black is going to be a nice kind of reasonably dark purplish kind of pink, and in the middle we're going to have more of a light pink. Like so. Obviously you can change these later on. This is looking okay, maybe a bit more pinky for this purple, so just move up here like so. As I said, you can change these later on, so we're not too fussed with that about now. So obviously we've got a sphere, and this is alright for a background, but to immediately get the whole 3D look, you know, you want to make a new layer. Okay, I'm still getting text, apologies if you hear that. And got white as the foreground color, and we've got an ellipsis selected, so I'll go ahead and drag one out, reasonably sized. Obviously I'll show you how I want it to fit on mine, about like that, maybe just a little bit further down like so, and a little bit wider, and just kind of even it up in the middle like so. So that's looking good as a part of an orb, but obviously we want to make a little bit of a gradient, so we'll just go ahead and add a layer mask, go to the gradient tool, make sure the foreground color is white and the background color is black, or vice versa, it doesn't really matter, and we'll just simply go ahead and drag down from the top. Make sure you hold shift just to keep it in proportions and keep the ratio, and so there you see you've got a nice immediate kind of glow, and you can kind of get the whole 3D of this and the whole studio kind of look on the button immediately. We're going to tone this down from 100 to about 60. Yet again, all these values you can change at a later stage. But that is looking nice so far. So we're just going to go ahead and rename these layers for future purposes when you go to add them. So we're going to go call this base, and this layer mask called top gloss. Obviously you can call them whatever floats your boat really. And so we've got the Twitter logo here. I'm going to be giving a tutorial on Twitter simply. I've just downloaded this from Google and just typed in Twitter logo, and I'm going to copy, make sure I go to the magic wand and select all of this bird, and simply go Command C, Control C, or just copy merge, whatever. So go ahead, make a new layer, and we're going to drag this under the gloss. We don't want it to be affected by the gloss because obviously this is beneath it, it's submerged within the button. So we'll just go ahead and Control V, and obviously I used a very large Twitter logo, so I'm going to have to scale it down ginormously. That doesn't really work because that is contradicting itself, but yeah, either way, you're going to scale it down somewhere like that. That's looking good. Okay, so sorry about that again, and we'll go ahead and add a hue and saturation to this layer. Make sure you click this black and white circles here, so that means it'll affect just the layer below and not all of them, so which in this case is the Twitter logo. So we're just going to go ahead and lower the lightness all the way down, well not all the way down, to something reasonably low, and change the saturation to a kind of purpley kind of colour. You still want to keep it quite tasteful. Apologies. So maybe like a nice purpley colour like so, but then so obviously it stands out from the actual button itself. So that's looking good, obviously, to give the 3D effect to it, make it look like it's actually within the button, which kind of furthers the whole 3D studio look of the whole icon. We're just going to double click on here, and we'll just add an inner glow, and we'll change the blend mode to normal, and the color to black, like so. You can maybe just increase the size just a tad. And obviously this is good, but obviously light usually comes from one direction, so just to add to this, we will have an inner shadow as well, and we'll just increase the size like so, about 27ish will do, and increase the distance just a bit. Okay, that's looking good right now. Again, obviously I've said that twice now before, you can change these as you will at a later stage. And one final thing I actually like to do on this layer, I just forgot there, is kind of add like a white trim around the outside. Makes it look like, again, adds to the effect of the 3D. So we'll go drop shadow, we'll go blend mode to overlay. Make sure you got the color on white, like so. And we'll simply tone down the size to 0 and the distance till about 2. Obviously, if you can see that just there, it kind of makes it look a lot more sleek, and you can add this to whatever you want, whatever kind of effect you're going for. I think 2 looks the most tasteful. It stands out, but not too stand out, if you kind of get what I mean. So that as it is, that is looking good. Obviously, this is the kind of thing that we are going for. So immediately we've got some, you see we've got some more shadows around the outside. So we'll go ahead and go to the layer styles again of, not the Twitter logo, the base. So we'll go ahead and add an inner glow again. Change the color to normal and the color to black. I meant the blend mode to normal, apologies yet again. So increase the size like so, that'll do. And maybe just make an outer glow as well. In fact, no, I'll leave the outer glow for the time being. Okay, so that's looking good, and obviously we're going to have some reflections down here coming across. So we're going to make a new layer above the base layer. Again, we want this to be below the Twitter logo, because again, it's just the way that the whole lighting scenario works. So we're going to just go to the pen tool, and I'm going to go just a little bit above halfway, and then to about 1/3 of the way up, and just drag until you get like quite a nice tasteful curve. That'll do me nicely. Not too fussed about this bit personally, not now anyway, but we'll finish up the path and we'll just go to fill path and we'll fill it in with a white, and you might as well just delete the path while we're there. And obviously if you lower the opacity, you will see that you've got a nice tasteful kind of reflection going on. So obviously you want 2 of these, so you just want to duplicate it by clicking Command J or Control J, or by dragging it down into a new layer icon down here. And obviously you go to Edit, Transform, and we'll flip it horizontally like so. Now maybe just match it up a little bit, and there we go. There we go. Immediately we've got some really nice reflections, and the whole icon is really coming along. So we'll add the outer glow now. Now, the way I actually done this, it was the easy way, but what you're going to have to do is, if you notice here, if I go to outer glow and a blend mode to normal and black, as soon as you increase it, you'll see the white along the outside coming along here. You can just use the eraser tool and get rid of this. It's not a big deal, but it does save a lot of time in the process. Not the most professional, admittedly, but it gets the job done, and the overall design, as long as you get there, I don't think it really matters. So that's looking good. Obviously, we're going to add one more final bit of gloss to this bird, I think. So we'll make a new layer, and I'm going to go to the pen tool, and I'm going to drag from down here to about here. That's looking good. And again, we'll just connect it up. We want this area of the top left of the Twitter logo to be kind of have reflection, so a lighter purple as it will. So again, we'll just fill this with a white, and then delete the path. Lower the opacity, and there we go. But obviously we'll put this just above the hue and saturation, maybe make it overlay, should you will. There we go, that's looking a lot more tasteful anyway, and we'll turn it down to about 25 like so. In fact, if I can move it over, yeah, just so it's more away and more realistic as well. And one final thing is, you see is in this logo, it's got some sort of little spirally kind of pattern in the background, which really does make it, you see, without it, it kind of looks a little bit lost and a little bit bland. So I've got a few brushes, I've tried many, just any kind of spiral brushes. I'm not too sure what ones I'm using right now. Does it say? It doesn't say, but I use these brushes. I think it's Stars, I'll try and find it, Stars, Blinks, and that final word, and it's one down here. I've just gone and lost it. So, but any of these, you know, they all look pretty good, And if you find them, you can just add them on like so. That's not the one, I did see it, there we go, it's this one just here. And we'll go ahead and increase the size. We did use about 800 by 800 size, so about 600-700 should do. Just a little bit. I'll type in 750 and just whack it in there. Now that's good, obviously it goes over the side as well a little bit, which is okay. And we'll go ahead and make this overlay like so. Maybe just turn it down a little bit to about 85%. There we go. Now that's looking really good. You've got some kind of shining coming in from the background, which the overlay effects brings. Obviously because it's lighter in the middle with the radiant that we done in the middle. So we'll go ahead and add a bevel and emboss to the base. Obviously you can play around with this to however you will. I just turn off global like usually and just flick through these and, you know, see really what looks best. Obviously we're going for a little trim around the outside, so you don't want anything with like submerges it black like that, because that completely defeats the whole object. So something like this one here would do, and obviously you can change it all the way here. If you put it all the way down, I think this works. Yep, there you go. You can put it all the way down, and obviously you can just increase the size, increase the soften, and obviously you can change these to whatever you will really. You can change it from down, all different options, just to kind of make it more customizable, because you don't want everyone with the same buttons. Obviously you can change your colors and everything, and it'll really look a lot different as well with these colors. Like the white, you can change the white to a red, should you will, or green if you really wanted to go for that, if you kind of color scheme incorporated two different colors. But I'm going to stick with the white, maybe just a little bit of pink, just a little tint in there like so. And there we have it. I'm pretty sure that is our logo, looking nice and done. Obviously one final thing I would say is this little kind of twinkle, I'm not sure what to call it, kind of blemish on the top. We're just going to do this, and again you can use brushes for this, you can make your own, you can download your own, but some people might not have these. Like for example the one on the back, the actual base layer, the little starburst kind of effect, that is, you wouldn't be able to make that. That is pretty much only come from a brush. However, these people that might not have that benefit, obviously we're just going to draw out kind of an ellipsis, rough shape here, obviously using the colour white, transform it up there roughly, okay, maybe just a little bit smaller like so, and simply we'll just add an outer glow, blend mode to normal, and the colour to white, and we'll just increase the size just a tad, and the spread as well, so it softens up the edges, so it's not just clear cutting from the actual ellipsis and the glow, so it gives it more of a fade effect. Obviously getting these values just right is somewhat of an art in my eyes. It can be quite tricky, but you get there eventually. I'm going to leave it at that. We can obviously tone down the opacity to about 70ish like so, maybe just make it a little bit narrower if you will. You know, that's hard because you've already rotated it. But anyway, this is creating the social media icons. You can use text here, use the same effects as the Twitter logo. Just follow the stages, come up with some really cool button designs. I think that's really good. In fact, one thing before I go, I'm going to merge these two layers because it is getting on my nerves, and quite frankly it looks quite unprofessional. So bear with me here. Merge these two reflections at the bottom. I'm just going to go to the rubber and just delete around the outside so you can't see them. Again, if you go over and onto the actual logo, it doesn't really matter because it's the outside. It's not the effect where you actually pick up the reflection. Where you notice the reflection is along these lines here. So that's alright. But anyway, they're gone now, looking good. Go ahead and put it on your website, put it on your YouTube background. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tour, guys. It's been a while. I want to get back on track. Hope this helped. It's 5 months too late, but better late than never, as I was brought up to believe. But anyway, thanks for watching this video. I've been Connor with Chrome Designs, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.